are going to start with the election of the regional secretary. The definition of regional secretary was to candidate. We also use the same process yesterday. We are going to call them. Each one is going to be given 3 minutes to present their motivation, and after presenting their motivation, you will be asking them questions. After asking them questions, we go to the closed discussion. After the closed discussion, then we can do this question. Regional Assembly elects as the IPSF patron regional secretary for the mandate 2025 to 2026. You have two candidates, Vivi, Mariette, Fontaine, and Nicodemus. The one who takes the prize is the one who sends the application first. So we are starting with Vivi, Mariette, Fontaine, then followed by Nicodemus. Mariette, you have 3 minutes to present your motivation.
Greetings, dear delegates, esteemed members. My name is Vivi Mariette. I'm a pharmacy student from Cancer, Cameroon. It's with great honor I stand before you today to run for the post of Regional Secretary. My main motivation for this role stems from my past experience in the QRBC subcommittee, which has not only sharpened my skills, but has also taught me the importance of teamwork and effective communication, and also my love for IPSF. So if given the chance to serve as your secretary, I plan to create a soft copy handover handbook guideline to ensure that all projects, all uncompleted projects and ideas are handed over to the next budget. I intend to draft, review, translating this into French and English, and disseminate on time official documents while providing language support to SEOs and CPs. Also, I will track deadlines for regional submissions and ensure reminders are sent regularly to teams and member organizations. Also, I will collaborate with the RMPO to assist in organizing sessions which will train team members and empower team members on how to use tools such as Google Suite. I will also assure monthly check-ins of the QRBC subcommittee to discuss and address challenges faced and foster regular interactions. This will also improve teamwork. Finally, I intend to schedule regional meetings with the RGW while considering different time zones in order to ensure maximum attendance. For me, the secretary is someone who is a catalyst for change, a bridge between members, and a champion for collaboration. So together we can build an Afro for seamless communication.
Thank you, Mariette. The next one is Nicodemus.
A very good afternoon to you all. I'm Nicodemus Tinashin. I'm here to present my motivation to become the regional secretary. So based on my previous experience as the chairperson, I've managed to understand the importance of having quality documentation from the storage, reproduction, as well as the facilitation and the distribution within the RWA and the other organizations. As my plan as the regional secretary, I plan to be engaged in policy advocacy trainings to train each and every CP and SEO to understand what it is to be a policymaker, as well as to draft policy documents. I also would want to engage in email writing workshops, as most of our CPs are the ones who are responsible in all the communications within their MOs. I want each and every CP to be able to understand how to write and how to deliver the emails. I also would want to make sure that each and every CP familiarizes with the regional official documents, as well as the IPSF official documents. This will help us to all know and understand what it is to be part of IPSF and the guidelines that guide us within IPSF. I also would want to participate in timely documentation, whether in scheduling emails, whether in distribution of emails, whether in writing minutes, whether in RA trainings, and all of that is involved within my office. I would want to also work with everyone. Also, I would want to make sure that I contribute to the IPSF strategic plan. As you all understand, IPSF currently has got its own strategic plan. So I would want to engage in the strategic plan implementation, as well in working hand to hand with the regional chairperson to make sure that the office of IPSF, African Regional Office, moves smoothly. Also, to an added advantage, I'm also a skilled graphic designer, so I also want to work with the RMPO to make sure that anything that is involved within my office, I can collaborate and share ideas to make sure that we give quality documentation. As for my progress that I've done, like I highlighted yesterday, I established a roadmap which guides how the next FPS can be done. And this, during my mandate, I would want us to adopt the same document to make sure that in the following mandates, it will be easier for them to go. Also, I would want to check on the track record that I have, that we also managed to develop our mid-mandate journal for the symposium, which has also helped us to reach out to different partners and organizations as IPSF African Regional Office, which has led to the maximum sponsorship that we have received for this particular symposium. To also aid my support, I'm also part of the Community Pharmacists Association as a secretariat member, a member of the Pharmaceutical Society of Zimbabwe as a secretariat member. So I don't want to just use this opportunity to only showcase my skills, but to also learn and further develop my skills to make sure that by the time that I'm done with the mandate, each and every one of us would have managed to learn and have an experience of expertise. So with this, I want to thank you all.
Thank you so much, Nicodemus and VP Marriott. We are now going to open the floor for comments and questions. Please don't address any question to one of the candidates. You address the question that can be answered by both the candidates. So you can now then use your Google Forms to let us know if you have a question or something to say to the candidates. I'm just going to start the count for 1 minute. If there's no question, then I will continue with the discussion. In case you have we have a question from Joseph Desire, c'est pas
J'aimerais savoir comment les secrétaires comptent, puisque l'un d'entre eux a parlé de formation, comment ils comptent faire la formation avec les francophones, s'il est capable de discuter en français, de pouvoir s'exprimer, pour préparer une formation, et aussi comment ils vont pouvoir synthétiser les mails importants et ceux qui ne sont pas, pour les transférer, parce que nous, souvent, on a des difficultés avec la quantité de mails qu'on reçoit et la langue. Ah, donc, on aimerait savoir comment ça pourrait être synthétisé de notre côté. Et voilà, surtout pour la formation aussi. Merci.
As-tu compris la question?
Okay.
In English for Nico.
English for Nico. The question is, he asked, as the regional secretary, how are you going to help with the training for the Francophone part? because also the training won't be for Anglophone only. And the second one is with regard to the emails being sent. There's reason that CPs receive a lot of emails, and then how are you to manage that so that also those emails sent can be can convey the message to the francophones in case they don't even understand the language of English. Is that it?
Thank you for your questions. Firstly, as a French speaker and as a translator in the CAPSA editorial unit, I can write and speak French and English both well, so I'll be able to translate in French and English. And for the training sessions, I'll collaborate with the RPO in order to source out former alumni or other people who speak French to help explain those sessions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. So firstly, what I want to do is to first establish a quality subcommittee with people with expertise in understanding, interpreting, and writing good English as well as good French, so that each time we need to send an email, the quality evaluation team will be able to do that to make sure that almost all our communication and our documentation is translated both in English and French. During our AFPS at the start of our mandate, we try to implement that, but we realize that there is much content that we want to deliver to the people, but then the translators at times will get overwhelmed with the high amount of information that we want to send out. So most of the times I'll then converse with Kevin, most of the times with our RRO, to help us now, as well as the secretary, to try and reach out to other member organizations. And most of the time, when we try and do our sessions, we try to also have a translator who also help us to make sure that we deliver our sessions. So I guess also with regards to email management, I guess we'll then now do those email training sessions where we'll try and see which emails are most important and which emails, and we'll try and grade the emails, because I know exactly how best you can tag your emails. You know, these emails are going to come from IPSF Global, these ones are coming from the secretary, these ones are coming from who, and then we'll try and also make sure that I work with the RRO to make sure that in the CPs and ACO group, each email that is very important and needs timely attention, it will be referred also to the group and not only on email, so that no one will be left behind. Thank you.
We have a new comment. Gideon Bonavita, RPC 1.
Gideon Bonavita, RPC 1. I wanted to ask, which gap or unfulfilled responsibilities or mistakes have you noticed from the office of secretary, from past secretaries, that you think you will address such a particular gap?
Okay, thank you for your question. As part of the QRDT as a member of the QRDT subcommittee, as a member of the QRDT subcommittee last year, we weren't having monthly check-ins and things like maybe how to translate effectively, especially at the level of acronyms, since we had to get to the secretary and all these things, we have to always do that all the time, rather than like having the if she could address our challenges every month, so that at least we can progress in that one. So I will do monthly check-ins, and also through those monthly check-ins we address the challenges that people have, and also we address it all together so that everyone can learn, and also to promote teamwork, because in our subcommittee last year we weren't interacting because we didn't have monthly check-ins.
Thank you very much. So, firstly, the first thing that I would want to make sure that I do as the regional secretary is to make sure that the communication that we have within the region is very timely and very effective. Also, in terms of timely minutes, like I highlighted, I would want to make sure that we have our minutes well in time. We eat RWG monthly meetings, or also our meetings with the CPs and OCOs. Also, another thing that I would want to make sure that we do as an area of improvement is to make sure that all our documents are sent in the correct format, correct font, as well as the correct and precise information we put in the documents. These are areas that I realized in the last mandate, they were not done to accurate precision, and I would want to make sure that we effectively do it. As well as in terms of translation, I would also want to make sure that our translators are up on point, maybe having a first level, second level, and third level translation, to make sure that by that time we deliver our message to the different imports that we have, everyone will be able to comprehend and understand the information that we want to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chris Swart from Liberia, Liberia.
Okay, so Chris X. Swart from Liberia, Liberia. No, secretary and the cabinet of an association. So, what means our process are you going to use that other people actually coming to take over the record being titled into the I'm saying, what means or process are you going to maybe pass through, or what criteria are you going to set that when other people are coming, your information will be safe, that when other people are coming, they will be able to gain knowledge from you?
Did you get a question?
Thank you so much for your question. We can establish a handover handbook, which should contain topics, sections such as projects, difficulties, and even the names and contacts of people that can help support you in your work, so that it can be handed over from one secretary to the next.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris, for your question. So the first thing that I would want to implement is to make sure that our Google Drive is well organized, well categorized, and making sure that we have documents from the previous mandate, the current mandate, and also to try and help them establish their next mandate structures, to make sure that during the handover takeover, I will explain for them from the start of the mandate what we did when I would receive all the information to the processes until the end of the mandate. Because I understand now, because everything is now technological, I'm sure that Google Drive, since most of our emails is IPSF Apple, based on the Google website. So I think it would be easier for us to then now check at each and every documentation, because what is more important is for them to at least have a blueprint of what they can at least look at and then implement it in their next mandate. And also to make sure that there is smooth transition, I will make sure that even during their mandate, I'll be 100% available whenever they need guidance, advice, and also to connect them with the previous other regional secretaries to make sure that there is smooth transition and there is growth. My wish would be that they would be better than I would have been during my mandate. Thank you.
Daniel Janisivero, Zambia.
Daniel Janisivero, besides Zambia. So my question is in relation to what has been asked before, but just a bit different. As a secretary, you are somehow the backbone of the group, right? So my question is, do you have any weaknesses? And if you do, how do you plan on working on them? I think the reason why I'm asking this question is more of like a conscious. Are you aware of your weaknesses? Yes.
Thank you so much for your question. One of the weaknesses that I have is I have a speech disability, but that can be tackled by exposure therapy, speaking more and practicing more. It helps. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane, for your patience. I guess for me, my greatest weakness is I want things to be done to precision. And when things don't go my way, I get so agitated and irritated. But this AFPS has even taught me to be more patient than I've ever been. Even when you even when you wake up, well, when you ask people to wake up at 6, they wake up at 7. At least I'm being patient enough to knock at people's doors until they can wake up. So I think I'm actually work in progress, and I know that during my mandate, I'll also make sure that I communicate the deadlines and the timelines way ahead of time, and make sure that I always remind my team and everyone that I'm working with that we are now due, so that by the time we finally get to the deadline, everyone will have done the work. And in case there is any disagreement or any conflict, I'll always consult with the chairperson to make sure that we address each and every issue that is there. But I guess for me, that's my weakness, and I'm working on it. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, so since you have no other questions, we are now going to proceed to the closed discussion. I'll ask one of the scrutineers to escort the candidate outside of the voting hall. Then the team will be put